Steve, can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Happy to do that. I'm Steve Hansen. I'm an attorney in Marysville, Washington, with the firm of Hansen, McConnell, and Pellegrini. My practice is primarily personal injury. We have construction-related representation. We do real estate transactions and litigation, estate planning work, wills and trusts, family law, domestic relations work. This particular practice with my two partners in Marysville commenced in January of 2000. But
Okay.
We've been together with a larger firm for a number of years earlier than that.
So how did you first learn about CMIT? How were you introduced?
Well, I think it was something as simple as a mailing that they sent out that happened across my desk earlier this year, and it came at a time when we were considering getting new network technical assistance with our computer system here and had had some dissatisfaction with the firm that had previously been providing those services, and so it was at an opportune time. We gave them the opportunity to present themselves to us in person and tell us a little bit about what they did, and the rest, I guess, is history. We ended up working with them.
What were some of the things that the other company were doing that were challenges for you, that were causing you to look elsewhere?
Well, we were a little frustrated with the service that we received. We felt that we only got assistance in terms of our operation when we requested it, and we normally came up with any ideas for improvements on our system rather than them. But I think what was the straw that sort of broke the camel's back was some work they did for me personally here at the firm, of course, on my computer. They rebuilt the computer and did some other things that were necessary to get my station working again, and some of the things they said they would do and some of the things they did do were just not satisfactory, and I was not impressed with the service, the communication, or the end product at that point. And I guess that's when I, at least, and I think my partners as well, began to wonder if there wasn't somebody else out there who might do a better job for us. I think I'd be safe to say that one of the things that intrigued us about CMIT's services was their offering an internet backup of our critical data that our network depends on, that our clients depend on, that we as lawyers depend on to do our work. And once that was explained to us, we were very enthusiastic in terms of going in that direction. Because to that point, we did have a backup system, but it was a mechanical system. We had to make sure that the system was working, and we did have problems with it where at times it wasn't working, and we didn't always know it wasn't working until after the fact. And we had to carry tapes off-site and bring them back and change them out day after day. And although we had a staff person whose task it was to do that, it was a little bit of an elaborate system, one that had lots of points at which it could go wrong, and occasionally it did, although we never had a disaster, thank goodness, during that period of time. A lot of the important information we have related to ongoing work for a particular client is in computer data format. Not everything is hard paper, to be sure. You know, we can sleep at night a lot better knowing that we have now a much more effective and a much more reliable system to back that up. And if the unthinkable happens and we have some kind of a network or computer crash here, a fire, something else that would really prevent us from retrieving that information from our own system, having an internet backup at two distant servers at different locations gives us real peace of mind and a way to put the pieces back together if the worst should happen someday.
They also set you up, at least one of your partners, and maybe more, with remote access, which is another way that, while it certainly benefits the attorney, it also benefits the clients, because the attorney can now access that information from wherever they need, whether they're on vacation or whether they're off on an assignment with another client. How important is remote access? I think Paul McConnell was the one that got that set up.
I think for probably both of my two partners, maybe a bit more than myself, although I've had occasion in years past to benefit from that. But I think in their practices, they really appreciate being able to interact with their computer database here at the office from a remote location. If they're working on something at home, if it's on the weekend, they have a question or they're trying to get something done and they need some information, they can access it from there. They can be in touch with their email communication here at the office from a remote location. And anything that makes the lawyer more efficient or saves time, it benefits the client. That's going to be translated into cost savings for the client, quicker turnaround on a work product. If you've got a snowstorm, if you've got a traffic jam that you know about and you can't get to work on time, you can get started on things and get work done from home, even when you didn't plan on being home that day or for that morning. So I think it definitely improves efficiency, gives you options you wouldn't otherwise have.
So what are Sue and John like to work with?
We've had a very positive experience with them. They're both very pleasant, very accommodating, knowledgeable, and they've been very attentive to our needs as a law firm, including staff, whether it's the lawyers or the staff that have issues or questions. They've given us prompt attention. They have excellent recommendations. The service we received on site has been professional. And they've made recommendations, some real solutions, some real solid kinds of advice on things we might do in terms of equipment changes, software changes. And I think they've paid attention to the cost of things, too, so that when they recommend things that involve us making purchases, they've done so in a way designed to save us some money and take into account what our budget is, and so I thought they've been very sensitive in that regard. We appreciated that.
So beyond technology advice, I mean, a lot of tech service providers can fix computers. They can even tell you which machines may work better. But in terms of really understanding your business, to be able to give you some strategic business advice of what you might be doing next to really serve your clients better, do you find that they're a good resource for that?
Yeah, I think that they work hard to stay on top of the kinds of things that businesses like ours need to be successful and to be efficient and to be current in our technology needs and our software and such. And so, I'm favorably impressed that they offer more than just someone to turn a wrench when the computer doesn't work. Again, we've been around the block a few times in our work with other IT providers, with other sources of advice, assistance, troubleshooting with our network, internet, computer equipment issues. And our experience has really set CMIT and Sue and John, who run the show for them here, apart from the others. They're more attentive, more accessible, more knowledgeable. And I've been impressed that I feel like the cost of the service has been an excellent value for us. It's been a better value for us and a better customer experience, I'd say, than we'd really expected or hoped for. And so we're very satisfied at this point in time, and we look forward to continuing it.